At least a tenth of an inch of snow or more for places like New Orleans, Lake Charles, and Houston. For New Orleans, you have to go back to 2009. That was the last time we saw about a tenth of an inch of snow. We've got even more than that in our forecast. Lake Charles and also Houston, you have to go back to February of 2021. And we could see several inches of snow in these areas of eastern Texas, getting into Louisiana, all the way into eastern Georgia and the coastal Carolinas. We're talking about that possibility of 5 to 8 inches of snow. A trickier forecast on the northern edge of all this, but even Atlanta, it's possible we see around an inch of snow. Unfortunately, it's not just fun and games with the snow. We've got the ice to contend with. We do have that possibility of ice accretion that could add up to quite a bit here in the northern parts of Florida, southern Georgia, and even back into Louisiana and Texas. A glaze of ice is possible. When we're talking about a trace to a quarter of an inch, it's already pretty dangerous to be out on the roads. Your sidewalks will ice up as well, but it becomes more damaging and you experience more tree damage and power outages when you get up and above a quarter inch of ice. Temperatures Tuesday morning, we've got the teens in Nashville, but look down toward the Gulf Coast. We are setting the stage for this storm because temperatures will be at or below freezing. Let's show you the European model as we see that snow kind of start out across Texas and Louisiana. There's your burst of blue out there in Lake Charles, Houston, kind of right on that freezing line. We see our system move right along the I-10 corridor, but depending on the moisture and how far north it gets, we could certainly see that little bit of snow for Tuesday afternoon and Tuesday night, even in the Atlanta area, and then kind of ending right here on the coastline with that snow. Now here's a look at the American model. You can see the snow once again starting up in Texas and Louisiana. You can see that freezing rain potential around Houston, Lake Charles, moving into New Orleans as we head into Tuesday afternoon. You've got Atlanta still seeing some of that blue on the map here Tuesday afternoon and night, and not as much showing up here along the coastal sections. We're talking about 8 to 12 down toward the Gulf Coast. We could see several inches as well. Reynolds?
Stories of survival and loss can be found everywhere in Los Angeles.
The Cook sisters have nothing left after their Eaton fire torched their Altadena home. Here's their story.
This time, we do have some updates for you. Some good. We're down to 2 fires. That's the good news. Bad news, the threats remain, Kelly. We've got critical conditions which extend from Ventura Valley to the San Bernardino Mountains.
Yeah, another Santa Ana event Monday into Tuesday. Those winds could get up and over 50, 60 miles an hour, and it will likely continue even on and off into Wednesday, Thursday. What we need is an onshore wind, which is what we've had the past couple of days. So they've been able to make a little bit of progress on the Palisades and Eaton fires. We're now running at about, more than 60% now on the Eaton fire.
There you go. The reason why we anticipate the ramp up in wind, you can blame it on this. Early next week, you've had high pressure settling up over parts of the Great Basin. Those winds will be roaring through the high mountain passes.
They're coming down off the San Gabriel Mountains north of Los Angeles. That's where the winds will be accelerating a little bit more up into those areas. We're talking about 50, 60 miles an hour. And because it's coming through the desert range, we do expect a drying wind, unfortunately. And that's not good news for the fire that's already out there, but additional fires that could start up potentially into Monday and Tuesday.
There you go. And notice it extends from Thousand Oaks to Santa Clarita, back into Lancaster, even to the 15 corridor. So pretty big area we're talking about.
Yeah, so for now, you've got a little bit of a light wind coming onshore that helps to increase the moisture. Unfortunately, when the wind switches around Monday into Tuesday, we see that wind coming through the land areas, an offshore wind. That's a drying wind, gusting as high as 30, 40. Look at Santa Clarita, gusting as high as 40 or 50 miles an hour.
Could that keep some of the aircraft down from flying? It's certainly possible. So that's one thing to consider. Work is cut out for them, no doubt, Kelly.
Yeah, when they drop the, the water, it's just not as efficient when you get those winds greater than 30 miles an hour. And unfortunately, no rain is expected, not in the near term anyway. Well, we leave you now with a look at now the infrastructure has been so badly damaged. A lot of people obviously without power as well. And unfortunately, we've got another Santa Ana on the way.
Yeah, I mean, the deck is stacked against them in every single way. The surface winds could exceed 50 miles an hour. That obviously would limit some of the aircraft support in terms of putting the water down, the fire retardant. That could be an issue. Yeah, the time frame you talked about, Kelly, Wednesday through Thursday for the winds, ramp it up.
And sometimes what they'll do is a precaution. They'll turn off the power on purpose so that no live power lines can come down and cause additional fires. These fires still under investigation, by the way, but we still have the Eaton and Palisades fires. They have made some progress, Reynolds. We had more of an onshore onshore wind, which increases the relative humidity.
There you are. High pressure, one of the big features that we have in the early part of the next week. That's going to usher in some of those winds, especially as the high mountain passes. They could be quite strong at times. So you have the strong winds, Kelly, then you have very low moisture content in the atmosphere.
Yeah, so I mean, with an onshore wind, at least we get the benefit of that Pacific moisture, but with the offshore wind, it's a drying wind coming off the desert, downsloping over the southern Sierra, the San Gabriel Mountains as well. So unfortunately, that will increase that fire threat as we go into Monday.
Yeah, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility to have a few more fires that could pop up here or there. And even Tuesday, that threat remains.
All right, so again, we want the winds onshore, but notice what happens as we go into Monday. Here comes that offshore northeasterly wind, gusting as high as 35, 45 miles an hour around Santa Clarita. You can see the pinks and purples on the map indicating some of those stronger winds.
Absolutely. Keep your eye, though, on San Diego and points east over towards Harrison Park. It's certainly possible. They have got plenty of the gusty conditions, very dry foliage. Basically, the same rule applies to what you'll find up in the LA Basin.
And we all have a drought going on right now.
We sure do.
This is our rainy season when we typically get our rain, but unfortunately no rain. In our immediate forecast, the drought has gotten worse. You can see severe drought, moderate drought surrounding this area as well. We're down 5-6 inches for a lot of these places.
Yeah, I mean, it is a rough time, to say the very least.
Well, deadly wildfires destroyed entire communities across Southern California, with thousands of people displaced and seeking shelter. A housing shortage in the region is only getting worse.
Tom Hansen with our partners at CBS shows us how fire victims are navigating through real estate in a search for an affordable place to stay.